Anyway, no one cares about that. Uh, so this guy, Dark Mark, his Discord name is like ChrisMax001, and he introduces me to a bunch of people. Some of them were named Iron Cap. So one of them was like Iron Cap, and another one was like ENF Dude, and then I met Limbros that way. I met Limbros, and I was I immediately rubbed her the wrong way, and then she never quite liked me, and then we never got along. I really tried to make her like me, and then she kind of acted snobby towards me in return. I don't know what her. I don't know. I tried to get her to like me, and then she was just kind of snobby and mean. This is before any drama happened. We'll get to the drama right now. This is before Chris Max shows his true colors. And I just anyway, and he keeps Chris Max keeps Dark Mark, who is now Chris Max, on Discord because he doesn't go by Dark Mark on Discord or DeviantArt. He just goes by Dark Mark on fanfiction.net. And I should not be recording this in the middle of the night while I'm fucking half awake. And I just meet this whole community of people that also, enjoy that's how I found out about like Cookie and the Dexter's Lab being the Dexter's Lab thing where like being chased. There's like two Dexter's Lab things. One where in a nightmare and like being laughed at naked, and then another where like he's in the shower and then being filmed by like a documentary crew or something. The Blackfoot and Slim, that was a thing. Like I end up discovering this whole like world. I discovered this what I thought was a big world at the time. I thought at the time I thought it was a big world. It turns out not to be a big world now. In retrospective, at the time I discovered like this big world, which again ended up becoming a really small world. Um, and he keeps talking to me to get me on DeviantArt, and eventually I go on DeviantArt, and or no, I create the very last name I went on DeviantArt, and then this entire time, me and Chris Max had been erotic role playing, where we would both pretend to be girls and like we would like we would do like a Pop Goes the Ed with like Princess Peach, Princess Daisy, and fucking Rosalina, the 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 one that's apparently as tall as LeBron, or the one that's fuck was that? I'm sorry. I completely lost my train of thought there. I heard this weird sound outside. I don't know what the hell it was. There it is again. Fuck. I have a I have a denoise thing on my mic. See, normally it really helps with recording, but I know the mic's not picking up on that sound right now because of the denoise. I have the denoise on. is that? I'm recording this at about, it's about midnight right now. It's dead quiet outside. I can hear my neighbors, like, checking out that noise downstairs. What the fuck is that? I think the noise is gone. I can. Basically, we would we had this entire Discord with the sole purpose of like erotic role playing with there'd be like ones where we would use Street Fighter characters, girls. I would be Chun Li, and then it would be two other girls. Or no, I would be two girls, and he'd be one girl. So I would be like two. I would be like Daisy and Peach, and then he would be Rosalina, I think. When we would do the three princesses, and then when we did Street Fighter, it would be like Chun Li, Cammy, and Sakura. Not Sakura from Naruto. Sakura from Street Fighter. The chick with the red panties. And, that was really fun. And, I would end up telling him that I was female. And, that made him really interested in me. And then I kind of went with that. Because, you know, I always I always kind of wanted to experience what it was like to be a female. It was always something that I had secretly craved, but I'd always been too scared to do because of the social implications. So I finally did it, and it felt really good. And, everyone online was very nice to me and very accepting of me into the community. And I started writing stories. I would do requests for free. So I would. This was back when I would just write stories for free, and I would take requests. And if I liked the request, I would just write the story, and it'd be like a 2, 3, 4 page story, and it was just a free request. So there was no real like, oh, this sucks, rewrite it, you know. And it was fun, and I ended up um I remember I had like I had gotten like 50 watchers like within like a week or two, and that was like huge to me. And then I think that made Limbros jealous, I think. This is back before there was any drama between us. I remember like that had made her jealous. I don't know why. But like there was like a while there where like me and Limbros basically had like we were basically like there was a time there where like I had more watchers and page views than Limbros, and I was just for the stories that I wrote. I think that really irritated her because she was like an artist, and then here's this person that again will just write stories was getting more views and watchers than her at the time. Nowadays, I'm irrelevant. Now she has like 7,000, 8,000 watchers now. Nowadays, Limbros has twice as much watchers as me. You know. Nowadays, I'm insignificant nowadays, but in the past, I'm talking about like 6 years ago, 7 years ago, like when we were both first starting out. Like there was a time where like we were neck and neck, and then I was surpassing her, and that was crazy because I wasn't even trying back then to compete with her. That just kind of happened. I wasn't trying to compete with her, but I think she was trying to compete with me, and everything was just like going swimmingly, and eventually I remember someone had commissioned me, or no, someone come to me and someone came to me and was like, "I read your other stories. Can you write a fart story for me?" And I was like, "Unless you pay me, I ain't doing it." Well, guess what? That motherfucker paid me, and that was my first commission. My first commission was some dude approaching me saying, "Would you write this fart story about?" I can't remember what it was even about. It was like Street Fighter. It was like the Sakura from Street Fighter again, and then a locker room, and then farts. I remember, and I was like, "I ain't writing that unless you pay me." And then he ended up paying me like $8, and I remember thinking at the time like, because at this time I was like 19 and didn't have a job, and I just made $8 online. And I remember at the time I or no, yeah, this I don't know before this um I mentioned I was having trouble online with money, which was true, and somebody like 12346 um they go by like a different name now, but they made like MMD stuff, like with Miku and like ENF stuff. She had showed me how to set up PayPal and how to create a PayPal account and sent me like $5. So I guess that was like my first ever like money I got online was like a donation after somebody showed me how to set up an account online to make commission money because I was we were because we were always struggling. We like at this time my mom was living with me and taking advantage of me. I didn't know at the time, and eventually my two sisters would move in without my consent, and the three of them would end up ganging up on me and physically abusing me and attacking me a lot. But at this point, it was just me and my mom wouldn't attack me, you know. Mom wouldn't attack me unless there was like someone else there to back her up. She was kind of like that. I didn't like getting in fights, by the way. They just would have fucking attacked me. Anyway, so I ended up, so during, so during this, I was like, somebody, fuck, god damn it. And what's funny is, I really had like a secret crush on somebody because they were such a nice person and stuff, and, they were a girl, like, I didn't know at the time, but I was actually bisexual, so I didn't know at the time, but, I'll get into, I'll get to that later, but, anyway, that's how I ended up making commission money, because I ended up setting up, like, a coffee page later, and then, I ended up making, like, a lot of money doing commissions. Not at first, but, like, I got like a lot of commissioners, and one of my regular commissioners became a guy called White Tiger 789, and he really liked stuff where Midoriya from My Hero Academia would get his penis hurt. He would really like to commission stories where he got his dick hurt in some way by a girl. And I think that he really liked that the stories were being written by a girl. And Everyone just fucking loved me. I was like the fucking the it girl in like the ENF community there for a minute, and everyone loved me, and everything was just going great. Um, but during this, I can't remember what happened, but me and Chris Max started having like little fights here and there. Nothing too bad, but basically Chris Max just the more popular I got, the less time I had for him, and I think that really made him mad. And I mean that because before me and Chris Max would just spend all fucking day with each other, like but then the more and more commissions I got, the more I started to like focus on Verdesause as like a business because this was like the only income I had. And it was income I could just do at my fucking bedroom. I could do in my bedroom. I could just do this in my bedroom. It was great, you know. And I could just write these funny story. I could write these funny stories where people are naked running around. It was great because I always wrote them with like a comedic aspect. So that way you could view it as like a comedic story, or you could view it as porn. It's like both. It's like comedy and porn. It's funny. That was always the intention. And anyway, we started to grow more distant, and the more distant we grew, the more fucking rude Chris got. Like before, he was like the nicest guy in the world. He was a bit pushy. He was a little bit pushy. Then he was a at first he's a little bit pushy. Then he's more pushy and more pushy and more pushy and more pushy. And then you're like, and if you like push back, he acts like you're a bully. He acts like a victim. And I really got fucking sick of his fucking behavior. But like, I tolerate it. I really tolerated his behavior for a long, long time. And I, I eventually just fucking snapped and just told him to leave me the fuck alone. Like I literally made a post. This is how the drama started. This motherfucker would just be like, he'd be on my server and just in the chat openly being rude to me and talking down to me because he thought that I was like his wife or something. He was talking down to me like I was a misbehaving wife. And that just he just kept fucking doing it and doing it and doing it. And I eventually made a post. I eventually just raged out, made a post on DeviantArt saying, Chris Max 001, leave me the fuck alone. And you know what? Chris would never leave me the fuck alone. Remember this. I made a post saying, Chris Max 001, leave me the fuck alone. And this would not deter him. This would encourage him to harass me more and more and more. Because originally, I was like his like I was like his like played like in his mind, I was like his sweetheart that he could like. I was like his booty call, and then his booty call suddenly started to focus on other people and erotic roleplay with other people, and I think that really rubbed him the wrong way because he thought I was like his. He thought I was his, and I wasn't, and that really irritated him. So when I openly told him to leave me the fuck alone, uh, what happened was people jumped on his side immediately. People immediately jumped on his side because Chris Max is like fucking. I don't know what the fuck it is, but he has like this thing where people are just like defend him. Where Chris Max can just be like a shitty, mean little brat. He can act like a little fucking brat. But if you say anything to him, there's like 9 people that jump in out of fucking nowhere and defend his ass. It's like fucking. And I eventually. I can't remember. I just like. I watched the entire community just suddenly turn on me. And then I just fucking like. I logged out and I deactivated my fucking account. And then I left for like 2 weeks. And then for 2 weeks, I was just like, well, I'm done. Well, fuck that community because that motherfucker became the most control. First, he was controlling, and then when I stopped, why didn't he was so controlling, and then why I didn't let him control me? Fucking, he would just he would gang up on me like that with people, and I left for like a long time, and then I came back, and the first thing that he did was fucking blame me. The first thing that he did was like, people fucking blame me for that, right? People blame me for that, right? Well, well, maybe it was your fucking fault. Well, maybe it was your fucking fault, you child. You little like. By the way, Chris Max, I know from talking to him that he lives with his parents. So this is like a little brat that lives with his parents and talks down to people online like he's their parent. Because that's probably how his parents talk to him. His parents probably talk to him like that because he's a grown ass man living at home and being off all fucking day. Chris Max lives at home with his parents and masturbates all fucking day. Why the fuck do you defend him? So it's like this guy, Chris Max, it's either you're his friend or you're a bully who he's gonna send people to go harass. And I would quickly find that out. Not at first, but I'll quickly find that out. I would even suggest to Chris Max, like, you know what? You're good at like doing erotic role plays. You know, in erotic role plays, you can write. It's like writing, like you're writing stories. And I told Chris Max, you know what? You're okay. You're an okay writer. Why don't you write some fucking stories? Because you're good at it. And I told him that. And I said, you can make commission money like me. And he would get like offended. He would get fucking offended and act snobby to me. So it's like, he's kind of got like this. I don't know what the fuck. It's like, I think he might just be like one of those dudes that just doesn't want to get a job. And I know I might sound like a hypocrite saying that, but um, I made, I've been making enough money to survive up until now. So you can call this not, you can say that this isn't a job, but this has been a job for me for the last 8 fucking years. And it's been keeping me afloat somewhat. It's been keeping me somewhat afloat. I suggested to Chris that he could do the same thing, and he takes offense to it. He's like a little fucking brat. He's a little fucking brat. And if you say one thing wrong, he starts fucking going on a tangent and starts like strawmanning you. And then his little fucking dumbass friends defend him like he's the fucking next coming of Christ. I don't get it. And I know what you're thinking. Why don't you just block him and be done with it? That's exactly what I did. But that would not be the end of it. Because remember, Chris Max has friends. That's important. Every now and then, I would randomly get a message on DeviantArt. Being like, hey, do you know someone named Chris Max? I would say, yes, I know someone named Chris Max. I have them blocked. Oh, I'm one of Chris Max's friends. Blah, 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 blah. Can you blah, 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 be friends with him again? And I would say no. And I would get literally I would get like a message like this every other day. Every other day, I would get a message sent by one of Chris Max's friends asking me to be like their friend. And sometimes the same person would just message me again and again and again, and then I would fucking have to block them. So I would have to like block Chris Max, and then if his friends started messaging me, I would have to fucking block them too. And you're like, and then you're thinking like, oh, I'm sure that's the end of it, right? Well, no, because they kept fucking coming. Like literally, like I've had like 20, or like it was like I counted. I went and looked. It was like 12 different dudes over the span of like 2 months. Were all sent by Chris Max to be like, hey, Chris Max wants to be your friend again. Hey, Chris Max, stop harassing me. Stop harassing me. I know, and it's funny, it's like, well, you're making a tech video right now. You're harassing. Chris Max has been harassing me for the past 8 fucking years. He's been harassing me he's been harassing me for the past 8 years. And I would love it if he could forget about me. If he could forget about me and move on to some other bitch, that would be fucking great. But apparently I'm the only fish in the fucking sea. Apparently I'm the only fish in the fucking sea for him. I don't get it. So then I would make another post saying, Chris Max, stop sending people after me. Stop sending people to fucking harass me. Like, you keep sending people to harass me. I would make a post saying, stop sending people to harass me. And then, guess what? His friends would swarm that post and then act like I was harassing him. Chris Max has no life outside of DeviantArt. I have a life outside of DeviantArt. It's small, but it's there. Like, Chris Max does not have a life outside of DeviantArt. So if you're not his friend on DeviantArt or Discord, that's like his entire fucking life apparently. And he'll send people to harass you. And eventually I eventually just it would just be like, okay, well, I'm just gonna have to deal with like the fact that he's just gonna harass me till the time. And then eventually it got to Chris Max will reveal his true colors very soon. Because now we're about to enter. Well, actually, we're skipping over a lot of years of back and forth. Basically, like, after the first Chris Max thing, a lot of people stopped talking to me. Like, ENF dude, would accuse me of like being like a liar, and like being like, him and Chris Max would like pull me into like a DM and be like, you have 1 hour to prove that Chris Max is a liar. And then I couldn't prove it in an hour, so then they would both block me. So they would start like doing like mean bully tactics like that. Like, that's like a bully tactic where like he's gonna, like, ENF dude was like pretending to be my friend. He was pretending to be my friend, and then he would pull me like a DM and be like, you have 1 fucking hour to do this. I have a life outside of DeviantArts. Like, I couldn't stop what I was doing fucking at that time, so I didn't have an hour, and like they wouldn't listen. And like ENF dude would just end up blocking me, and then Iron Cap America would just stop responding to me, period. And a lot of people would just start alienating me because Chris Max had painted me as like a bully. And I would start getting basically like bullied online. But I didn't view it as bullying at the time, but I do now. And people would just constantly accuse me of starting drama with him when I just wanted him to stop fucking harassing me and stop bullying me and he would just keep bullying me and keep harassing me, and people would just, and if I ever defended myself, I was attacking him. I'm kind of like shaking right now a little bit, but that's because I'm a bully, I guess. So I thought that like, oh, that sucks. That really sucks, because that's like a lot of friendships. Also, I was no longer like I was no longer like the top girl. I was no longer like the center of attention anymore. I was suddenly like a witch. Like suddenly I was like a witch, because what had happened was, during an erotic roleplay, Chris Max was, because originally online I had told people that I was a lesbian woman. I had told them that I was lesbian because all these dudes kept wanting to fuck me. Like Chris Max kept fucking Chris Max kept fucking trying to seduce me, and it kept creeping me out because it kept creeping me out. And I told him I was a lesbian just so he would leave me the fuck alone. So, the context is right now, this is Chris Max harassing like a lesbian girl online, and he won't leave her the fuck alone, and he's bullying her. That's the context right now. That was the context. It's like, I was an openly gay girl online, and people were harassing me because I wouldn't erotic roleplay with them, because I wasn't giving them the pussy. Oh boy, this is all funny in hindsight, isn't it? So these guys would just harass me, harass me, harass me, harass me, and then they would go to other people first, and then paint that picture of me. So when I went to them and explained to them what was happening, they were already preconditioned not to believe me. So somebody, one, two, three, four, six, would end up calling me a supervillain and like blocking me, and that really hurt me. And then Limbros would end up blocking me too, and that really hurt me, because now I'm suddenly being alienated in this community that I discovered online, because one little brat couldn't have me, and no one else is apparently fucking realizing what's going on. Not and Limbros, by the way, is also gay. Limbros and somebody 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, whatever the fuck, they're both also gay girls, and they were tricked by Chris Max into attacking another fucking gay girl. So it's like, what the fuck? What the actual fuck? Like, why is everyone doing this? Like, so also, like, Chris Max was one to, he made it very clear to me that he's a Christian, and he would like if I ever made like a joke about like atheism, he would like scold me and be like, "I wasn't here." Like he would talk to me like I'm his wife, and be like, I would just ignore him. So he really has like a god complex in hindsight, but no one else seems to fucking care. Anyway, eventually I would meet another one of Chris Max's friends named Adama1978, who on DeviantArt goes by Peach Leopard 94. Um, the first message he sent to me was like, or no, the first thing he did was like, he sent me a $150 donation. He sent me a donation of $150, which was like, holy shit, because that went towards like electric, I think. That went towards electric or internet, because we had Comcast back then, and Comcast was really fucking expensive. It still fucking is, by the way. Yeah. Like, you guys have no idea how expensive Comcast is. Oh, we had Comcast, and it was so expensive, and Also, my mom. Anyway, after he got that $150, I can't remember. He literally sent it as a donation, I think, which was like really cool. And after he sent the $150, he would end up telling me about his abusive upbringing because at the time during this between this one of my sisters had both moved in, and they started like getting really physically abusive with me, and I started talking about it online, and people were sympathetic towards me, except for Chris Max. He said I was just making it up. Chris Max, he would always be aware of like every single every single breath that I make. He's aware of, and I blocked this guy like 8 years ago. It's been 8 years now, and he's still like hyper obsessed over me. He's still fucking like framing. He's still like framing. He's still trying to frame me for shit. Like that's part of the reason why I'm just really probably gonna end up quitting Verdesause because this guy won't leave me the fuck alone, and no one will defend me from him. People will defend him, I guess. He's a fucking saint. But the atheist gay girl doesn't get defended. No one defends her. Anyway, Robert. So fuck. God fucking damn it! I did not mean to say his name. I did not mean to say his fucking name. Fuck. Just pretend like I didn't say that. Uh, a side note. Wellington would end up doxing Adama later, so I didn't. I just now said his first name by accident, but one of Chris Max's friends, Wellington, would actually dox um his full fucking name. But anyway, that's like years down the road. We're talking about like the first time we met. Yeah, Chris Max is the evil motherfucker. His friends will dox you, and that's okay. If Chris Max's friends want to dox you, that's okay. He's a Christian. He's a Christian. His friends can dox you. You don't call him out for that. If he doxes you and you call him out for that, you're a bully. Anyway, Dama would tell me about his abusive father, and I won't give away many details, but he gave away details about cause see Chris Max, he really likes the boomerang episode. There's an episode of Ed and Eddie where there's a boomerang, and when Double D, a man, a boy, um, when he gets a boomerang stuck in like his hat, it causes Double D to become sweaty and remove his clothes. And Double D would end up stripping down to his underwear. And that was Chris Max's sexual awakening. Kind of like, let me explain, let me do a side tangent. My sexual awakening was Pop Goes the Ed. When I first saw Pop Goes the Ed as a kid, that was my sexual awakening. That and a sci-fi movie called Dr. Jekyll and Mrs. Hyde. There's this movie in 1994 called Dr. Jekyll and Mrs. Hyde, where a guy would drink a toxin that would turn him into a girl. And there was a scene where he would like wear lingerie. There's a scene where the guy turned back into a girl while wearing lingerie, and you see the guy in lingerie, and that really turned me on. Seeing that guy in lingerie, and then seeing the Eds in their little speedos, and burst out of them, that was my like sexual awakening. That made me like really turned on, and which is funny because those are all men, but I would later find out that I was bisexual. But during this time, I identified as being a lesbian. Like, we'll talk about this later, okay? We'll talk about the elephant in the room later. Fuck off. Fuck off hard. I'm gonna be myself. Anyway, Adama would, end up talking about how, because in the Boomerang episode, at the very end, all three of the Eds get stuck to a tree with the boomerang, and, like, they're hanging by the tree, and the boomerang's, like, around their necks. Adama had, I'm trying to leave out details, by the way, because I still respect Adama. I respected Adama would end up doing some really mean shit to me. Some really mean shit to me, but I still respect him, and we'll leave out details. Adama's father, put his hands around his mother's neck and attempted to. He does. I actually don't know the full details myself, but Adama had an experience when he was a kid about his father put his hands around his mother's neck, and Adama was in, like, the backseat of the car watching it. So this was a very traumatic experience for him. I can relate, having gone through traumatic experiences myself, as a child, and as a fucking adult. You feel that? That was real just now. Deal with it. Anyway. So, Adama had opened up to me and told me about an experience he had with Chris Max, where Chris Max, the little brat, got upset at Adama because Chris Max wanted to do the erotic roleplay precisely as it happens in the episode. So if you try to diverge from the script, which Chris Max gets really, really angry with you, and because he's not good at, because Chris Max isn't good at, like, coming up with stories. So if you, like, put him in a spot, like, he'll get mad and blame you. Like if you like, you basically have to, like, carry all the work. Like, if you do, like, an erotic roleplay with him, you have to do, like, all the work, right? Like, writing wise, you have to do, like, all the heavy lifting. Like, that's why I would do, like, 2 characters and he would do 1, because I would do all the heavy lifting. And anyway, Azama was erotic role playing with Chris, and the boomerang thing came up where, the boomerang will go around the neck of all 3 Eds, and Adama said, "Stop. This is reminding me of a traumatic experience I had when I was a child. Can we please stop?" Chris Max is a little child. He's a little brat. He didn't like being told no, and he made a big fuss about it. Chris Max made a big fuss about it, and Adama would end up just leaving just backing out of the ERP right there. Rightfully so, by the way. Fuck you, Chris Max. Oh, you didn't get to come? Oh, I'm sorry you didn't get to come, Chris Max. Fuck you. Oh, you didn't get to come? Because you didn't get to, oh, I'm so sorry you didn't get to come. You made him go through a traumatic experience. You made him, like, relive a traumatic experience because you wanted to jerk off, Chris Max. You go fuck yourself. So, you can't get Chris Max. So if Chris Max wants something, you just have to give it to him, and that's okay. And people just tolerate this behavior. Chris Max just does this openly, and people just fucking tolerate it. I have to pause the recording here, but this was like episode 1 of why I have to quit Verdesause. I have to stop the recording here because I'm getting too loud, and it's past midnight.